Hi students, welcome back to review class of social studies. In this week we are studying manufacturing industries and we will have a brief summary of the lesson which we have studied during this week. In this week we studied about manufacturing industries where we saw various classification of industries based on their raw material. Okay, in those categories. The first and the foremost is agro-based industries. Now, agro-based industries are those industries which depend upon raw material, which depends on agriculture for the raw material. Those industries are termed as a agro-based industries. In agro-based industries, the first and the foremost which we see is textile industries. In textile, we have two type of textile industries. One is cotton textile and another is jute textile. In India, cotton textile is very old industry. It has been existing since colonial period, but the only difference was that during colonial period all the industries in India were handlooms, but after 18th century slowly they have started converting themselves into power loom. The first cotton textile industry was established in 1854 at Bombay. Next, as per 2011 census, in India, we have 1946 cotton textile industries and 80% of them are in private sectors. Remaining are either in public or joint sectors. And most of the cotton textile industries in India are run by power looms. In India, Maharashtra and Gujarat, these are the two states which are the leading producer of cotton, and most of the cotton textile industries are located or confined in and around Maharashtra and Gujarat. That is why we can see Ahmedabad is known as Manchester of India. It accounts around 4% to our GDP and it is one of the largest employment generation sector in Indian economy. Next, the problem which is faced by cotton textile industries are now main problem is frequent shutdown, quality of labor, trained labor. We are lacking in trained and quality of labor. Okay, that is, and most of the machinery which are being used by our cotton textile industries are outdated or have become old. They has to be replaced by the latest one, and our country is the second largest producer of cotton textile in the world after China. Next, we see about the jute. Jute. India ranked second in jute after Bangladesh because after the partition of India and Pakistan till 1971 it was known as East Pakistan. But in 1971 we had Indo-Pak war, and after that war East Pakistan got its new name as a Bangladesh. So 3/4 of the cotton growing area went to Bangladesh, 1/4 remain in our country. So we are the second largest producer after Bangladesh. In India, West Bengal is the leading producer of jute. Okay. Apart from that, we have Assam, Odisha, and Bihar are the state where you find the jute production. But if you see the river Hooghly belt, 98 to 100 kilometers length, 30 to 40 kilometers of width, that area is completely concentrated with jute mills. Okay, in Sajanwa also we have a jute mill, that is Mahavir jute mill. Okay, so jute is an eco-friendly material. So in present days, because of global warming and all, most nations they are now banning or trying to ban or already have banned the use of plastic and polythene. So jute is the best alternate to replace the polythene bags and polythene covers and all plastics and all, because it is eco-friendly. It does not cause any danger or damage or harm to nature. Okay, so because of this the demand for jute is increasing in our country day by day. The first jute mill was established in India in 1854 in near Kolkata. Now it has very good market. Indian jute has very good market in the world as a domestic market also. Now if you see the international market, the East Asian countries, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, again if you see Australia, New Zealand, apart from that European countries, Gulf countries, African countries, Canada, USA. Lot of demand is there for the Indian jute because it is an eco-friendly object. Next, but it is facing a stiff competition of synthetic fiber. Now we have synthetic fiber also come in the market, which has been facing stiff competition. Okay. Now the climate is very much favorable in West Bengal for the growth of and cultivation of jute, and it requires a lot of amount of water for its processing and all. So that region is having abundant supply of water because almost all the rivers in India flow towards the eastward, except 3 to 4 rivers like Narmada, Tapi, Mahi, Sabarmati. Okay, they flow toward the westward. Remaining all the rivers in India flow towards the eastward. So they carry a lot of water towards these coastal states. Okay. Next, sugar industries. Sugar industries are also in India. We have seen a large scale. India is the second largest producer of sugar in the world after Brazil. Brazil is known as sugar bowl of the world. Okay. So in India, Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer of sugar cane, and Maharashtra is the largest producer of sugar. Apart from Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra, we have states like Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab are the states where we find the cultivation of sugar. And often we have seen the sugarcane industries are scattered here and there, but major sugarcane industries you can find Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. Sugarcane is an industry, tropical crop. It is an annual crop, so it requires tropical type of climate, and our country's climate is tropical monsoon type of climate, which is very much favorable for the cultivation of sugar. And you know that various products we get from sugar like sugar candy, gur, jaggery. Okay, and all after this it is used in various other industries like alcohol and all. Okay. Next, we have mineral based industries. Mineral based industries are those industries which depend upon raw material for minerals, which we extract from the minerals. There are certain industries which directly don't depend upon raw material or minerals. They depend on raw material which they extract from other industries. Okay, that also we have studied in this lesson. Now, in mineral based industries, the first and the foremost is iron and steel industry. Iron and steel industry is the also known as basic key industries because iron and steel is a basic raw material which is needed in every construction activities. House you take, building you take, dams you take, everywhere you establishment of industries and all you take, we need iron and steel. Because of that, it is also known as basic key industries. It is also known as heavy and bulky industries because the raw material required in iron and steel is very heavy and bulky. The raw material like we take iron and ore, coke, manganese, these are the things which we add to make it more strong and corrosion free. Okay, in India, most of the iron and steel industries are located in and around those areas where there is availability of raw material. Especially you take Chota Nagpur Plateau. Chota Nagpur Plateau is consists of the states of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, northern part of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, western part of West Bengal and all comes under Chota Nagpur Plateau. And the first iron and steel industry was TISCO, that is Tata Iron and Steel Company in 1907. Production started in 1911. Okay. Apart from that, we have various iron and steel industries like Rourkela, Bokaro, Durgapur, Bhilai, Salem, Bhadravati. So many in the iron and steel industries we have in our country. Okay, and the iron and steel industries which are in public sector, they work or they produce the product under the Corporation of SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. Okay, next, after that we have aluminium smelting. The next alternate for iron and steel is aluminium. Aluminium which we derive from the bauxite ore. Okay, and if it is added with other metals and minerals, it becomes very strong, and as it is light in weight, it is used in aircraft, and we see the utensils vessels made from aluminium. Apart from that, it has a very good quality which can be drawn into thin wire. It has very good you can see heat resistant capacity. Apart from that, it is also used in various other appliances. Okay, next, chemical industries. In India, the Indian chemical industries rank third in Asia and 12th in the world. Okay, now Indian chemical industries are expanding. We have two type of chemical industries, organic and inorganic. Inorganic, like you take phosphorus, potassium, okay, and oil paint, and we make paints, chemicals, various, so many varieties of things we make from the chemical. And after the 1960s, when the green revolution was started, we seen that the chemical industries got expanded on a large scale, because we need certain chemical implements like fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, okay, on a large scale. So it got more expanded. Next we have cement industry. The first cement plant was established in 1904 in Chennai, okay, and the raw material which we require for cement is limestone, gypsum, coke and all, okay. The Indian cement industry has got very good local and international market, because it comes under basic industries which require in day-to-day activity of any construction of house, buildings, dams. Nowadays roads are also being made, concrete roads and all. So cement has very good demand in both local and international market. And we see in India we have lot of availability of raw material which is needed to manufacture the cement. So students, that was the revision of the this week of the class. Remaining will continue in the next class. That's all. Take care.